The new singer I'd single-handedly made a star fell in love with a bar singer and was dead set on going public with their relationship. I tried to stop her. Your career is on the rise right now. It's not the right time to announce a relationship. You should wait. The bar singer, feeling like their love had been cruelly torn apart and unable to bear the heartbreak, committed suicide by overdose. Years later, that new singer became a pop superstar and started leaking damaging stories about me online. I was swarmed by cyberbullies, and she even stole my entertainment company from me. She told me viciously, "This is what you owe him. He's gone, so what right do you have to live a peaceful life?" When I opened my eyes again, I was back in the year that new singer was just starting to make a name for herself. This time I canceled all her gigs and let her go public with her relationship. Go tell the producers of Celestial Sound to make Julian Reed a regular panelist on the show. His talent shouldn't be buried. Scarlett Vance barged into my office, her chin held high. She started barking orders at me the moment she walked in. Instantly, the employees outside my office stared in astonishment. They had never seen anyone so shamelessly demand resources, let alone with such an arrogant and disrespectful attitude. The look on her face seemed to say that her asking for resources was the greatest honor I could receive, and if I refused, I'd be a fool who didn't know what was good for him. I was both annoyed and amused as I looked at that familiar yet strange face. I stared straight into her eyes and asked, "And if I say no?" Scarlett's attitude was unyielding, her face filled with disdain. "It's just one spot as a regular on a variety show. When I become a pop superstar, I'll earn you back tens, even hundreds of times the profit. Why are you being so stingy now?" Just as I suspected, Scarlett must have been reborn too. The way she spoke to me was identical to how she acted in my past life after she became a superstar. In my last life, I poured a fortune and all my connections into her, moving heaven and earth to make her a pop queen. But she naively believed her success was all due to her own efforts. She was completely overestimating herself. I slammed the file in my hand onto the desk. If he wants resources, he can go out and earn them himself. Stop acting like I'm your personal ATM. I don't owe you a thing. Scarlett's fists clenched in anger. "Sincere Hawthorne, I know you look down on Julian, but I'm being serious with you. Can you please try not to let your personal feelings get in the way? He's an incredibly talented musician. I believe if he gets on this show, he'll be a huge hit." I frowned at her, finding the whole situation utterly absurd. "You're unbelievable. What does he have to do with me? Why would I have personal feelings about him? Is he even worthy of my attention?" Scarlett seethed through gritted teeth. "Sincere Hawthorne, you really are a cold-blooded man. I should have seen through you long ago. I felt nothing." Twirling the pen in my hand, I said, "Are you done? You can leave now." Scarlett was furious. "You'll regret this regret?" The only thing I regretted was my last life, when I turned an ungrateful backstabber into a star, only for her to bite the hand that fed her. After a lesson that painful, I wasn't about to be that fool again. I called for my assistant. "What's on Scarlett's schedule?" My assistant, Alex, reported dutifully. "She has invitations to perform at 3 music festivals, 2 recording opportunities for music variety shows, and an album in the works scheduled to start recording in the second half of the year." "Cancel all of them," I said calmly. Alex's eyes widened in shock. "Mr. Hawthorne, are you really going to cancel all her resources? If Scarlett finds out, she's definitely going to come here and cause a scene." I shot Alex a cool glance and said with a smirk, "Then remember to change the lock on my office door. I don't want her dirtying my space." That evening, I was out with friends. When my buddy Leo Fisher heard what I'd done, his jaw dropped. "You really canceled all her gigs? Sincere, you've got guts. You finally stopped being a fool." I shot him a look. "What are you talking about? Who was being a fool?" Leo called me out directly. "Who else? You were more invested in that little singer than you are in me, your own brother. You were definitely into her." My hand, holding my glass, paused. He was right. In my past life, I did have feelings for Scarlett. That's why I gave her the best of everything. I could have been like other bosses and used her career to force her into a relationship, but I disdained such methods. I felt it would have been disrespectful to her. I naively believed that if I treated her with genuine sincerity, she would eventually see how I felt. I couldn't have been more wrong. She was just using my affection for her to get resources from me. Seeing my somber mood, Leo clapped me on the shoulder. "Don't look so down. There are plenty of other good women out there. Want me to introduce you to a few?" I rubbed my temples, a headache forming. "Give me a break. I'm not in the mood for that right now." Leo pouted. "You're still the same old you. So boring." The next day I went to the office. As soon as I stepped out of the elevator, Alex shot me a look. I was confused. "What's wrong?" Alex whispered. "Mr. Hawthorne, Miss Vance is here." I looked at the girl sitting in my office, her face a mask of fury, and for the first time I felt a deep loathing for someone. "Didn't I tell you to change the lock?" Alex stammered timidly. I haven't had the chance yet." "Fine." Looked like I had to handle this myself. I pushed the door open and walked in. Scarlett saw me enter. Her face was grim as she asked, "Did you cancel my gigs?" I glanced at her, settled into my comfortable office chair, lit a cigarette, and took a deep drag. The scent of tobacco filled the air. What if I did? Instead of getting angry, Scarlett laughed, looking as if she held all the cards. "I've already announced our relationship to my fan groups. If you suddenly replace me, what do you think the fans will say about you? Sincere Hawthorne, I know you like me, but you don't have to resort to these tactics to get my attention. This will only make me hate you more." I looked at her like she was a lunatic, slowly exhaling a plume of smoke. "Are you out of your mind?" Scarlett tilted her head up arrogantly. "Sincere, if you like someone, you should just say it. Otherwise, you'll never capture her heart." I pretended not to hear her obvious hint. I stood up, ready to get to work. "Thanks for the tip. You can go now." The smug look on Scarlett's face vanished. She stood up. "Sincere Hawthorne, you just wait and see you'll regret this." A thought suddenly struck me. I looked up. "Wait, don't go yet." I called Scarlett back. She turned around excitedly, even flipping her hair. "What, having second thoughts? Just apologize to me and I'll forgive you this one time." I emotionlessly pulled out a contract termination agreement. "Sign this. I'll cover the penalty fee." Scarlett stared at the contract, her expression freezing over. "Sincere, are you serious?" I raised an eyebrow, looking at this beautiful but venomous woman. "What else? You think I'm here to play games with you? My time is precious. I hate to waste even a minute of it. Sign it, and we can go our separate ways." Scarlett had always been proud, and believing she was destined to be a pop superstar, she wasn't about to back down easily. She glared at me fiercely. "Fine, I'll sign in the future. Even if you begged me on your knees to come back, I wouldn't. The exit is to your right. Don't let the door hit you on the way out," I said, completely unfazed. A few days later, photos of Scarlett, secretly taken by paparazzi outside a bar, spread across the internet. In an instant, social media exploded. I had just finished my work when Alex brought me the news. "Mr. Hawthorne, should we do something about this?" I glanced at the trending topics. "Stop trying to be a savior, Alex. We just need to mind our own business. Sticking our noses where they don't belong will only cause trouble." Alex looked troubled, but she's still technically one of the company's artists. "If this affects the company's reputation, what do we do?" A smirk played on my lips. "She's already signed the termination contract. She's no longer a part of Starshine Entertainment." I showed the contract to Alex, whose eyes widened in disbelief. "Mr. Hawthorne, you were really serious this time?" I waved my hand dismissively. "What do you think? That I was going to keep playing her childish games?" Alex gave me a thumbs up, a look of admiration on his face. "You're the man, Mr. Hawthorne, decisive as always. What I didn't expect was that Scarlett would seize the opportunity that very night to go public with her and Julian's relationship. She even posted on social media asking for everyone's blessing. When I saw the post, I almost laughed out loud. Scarlett was still so naive. Did she have any idea how many people were secretly jealous of her good fortune, just waiting for her to fail? In my past life, I not only had the PR team issue a clarification immediately, but also shielded her from countless overt attacks and hidden schemes. That was the only reason she was able to climb to the top so steadily. Without my protection, she would likely be swallowed by the treacherous waves of the entertainment industry very soon. Just as I expected, a few days later, a series of damaging stories about her, from carrying on a romance in the recording studio to her diva behavior, were all exposed. At first, her fans didn't believe it, but then major influencers on social media started fanning the flames. Her follower count plummeted. In a flash, Scarlett's public appeal was completely ruined. Hearing the news, I couldn't have been more pleased. I wondered if Scarlett still thought she was so special now. In a place like the entertainment industry, anyone can be replaced. Besides, she had offended plenty of people. I didn't even have to lift a finger. There were others who wanted to take her down. That night, I received a call from an unknown number. Scarlett's furious voice came through the phone. "Sincere Hawthorne, was this your doing? You just wanted to terminate my contract so you could ruin me." I rubbed my ear. "There's a long line of people who want to see you fail. Don't pin everything on me. I haven't been involved in your affairs at all this time." Scarlett snorted. "I don't believe a word you say. Believe what you want." I couldn't care less. I hung up the phone. Probably still fuming from our call, Scarlett made a big move the next day. She posted a photo of the termination contract on social media. She even tagged the company's official account, writing, "A clear conscience fears no accusation. I don't need to prove things I never did. Some people shouldn't think I'm easy to bully." The fans' eyes are sharp. Immediately after, her boyfriend Julian commented below, "I believe in Yue's character. Rumors die with the wise. Everyone, please be rational." In an instant, public opinion shifted. Someone dug up my identity. The internet was flooded with insults, and paid trolls were stirring the pot. They said I was jealous of their love, that if I couldn't have her, I'd destroy her. They spewed nonsense about how capital gives me the right to do whatever I want, and that they had to get justice for their goddess. I had to be careful whenever I went out for the next few days. Most of Scarlett's fans were young and easily swayed. One day, as I got out of my car in front of the company building, someone rushed out from the crowd. A soda can flew toward my head. "You're shameless." I hope Starshine goes bankrupt. What a trash company. The impact left my head ringing. Before I could even react, someone pulled me aside. I looked up to see a person taking off their coat to shield me, forcefully pushing back the crazed fans. "Get back, all of you. Get back, security." She quickly pulled me toward the company entrance, the rabid fans chasing us the whole way. Thankfully, security arrived just in time. We didn't breathe a sigh of relief until the elevator doors closed. The girl spoke first, her voice anxious. "Brother, are you okay?" Only then did I realize my arm was still around her waist. I quickly let go. "Tori?" Ouch, the young woman let out a soft cry of pain, and I finally noticed the gash on her arm. "Come with me. We need to treat that cut." I led her to my office, and passing colleagues cast curious glances our way. The girl lowered her head, a little shy. After I bandaged her wound, I asked, "What are you doing at Starshine?" Victoria Sterling looked up at me eagerly. I want to apply for a job. Here's my resume." I frowned slightly. "Does Mom know you're applying here?" Victoria nodded vigorously. "I got their permission. I promise, brother. Stop treating me like a little kid." Victoria was my mother's goddaughter. After her parents passed away, she was taken in by my family, so we were practically raised together. But Victoria went abroad at a young age. I never expected that the next time we met, she would have blossomed into such a graceful and beautiful young woman. I looked at her resume. She was formally trained and had studied abroad. Her professional skills were certainly far superior to those of many non-professionals in the industry. "All right then. I'll assign you to a more easygoing manager." To be honest, I didn't really want Victoria to get involved in the entertainment industry. It's a shark tank, and I was afraid she'd get hurt. But since it was her dream, I had no choice but to support her. Victoria took my hand and asked sweetly, "Brother, are you coming home tonight? We can have dinner together." I smiled indulgently. "All right. I'll head back with you after I finish my work." As for Scarlett, "A clear conscience fears no accusation" is a phrase only the truly innocent can use. Someone like her, with a closet full of skeletons, had no right to say it. That night I had Alex release the raw video footage we had collected. We posted it from the company's official social media account and even tagged Scarlett Vance. Starshine Entertainment only welcomes artists of both moral integrity and artistic skill. The implication was clear: people like her, with diva attitudes who love to cause drama, were not welcome at Starshine. The internet was instantly abuzz. Whoa, there's another twist to this story. The CEO of Starshine got involved personally, so it must be true. They didn't even blur the video. That's a total slap in the face. I love this direct approach. I knew a big company like Starshine wouldn't just bully an artist for no reason. Scarlett Vance, care to explain? She's probably too scared to show her face now. Doesn't even look at herself in the mirror and still dares to say she has a clear conscience. LOL, someone exposed her bad temper and diva behavior before, but her fans kept trying to whitewash it, saying their goddess was gentle and kind. Look who's got egg on their face now. I watched the comments on social media with satisfaction. Just then, Alex walked in. "Mr. Hawthorne, we have the results of the investigation you requested." I took the file folder and its contents were exactly what I'd expected. Julian Reed was faking it. In my last life, I had my suspicions and told Scarlett, but she thought I was trying to drive a wedge between them. She even said, "What kind of person would lie about having depression and taking pills every day?" She duped me back then. I thought maybe she had a point. I even reflected on whether I was being too petty. Thinking back on it now, in this life there were too many red flags. There's no such thing as that many coincidences, a chance encounter and love at first sight. Not unless he was deliberately playing the victim to win Scarlett's sympathy. After all, that was the only way he could use her massive fan base to become famous overnight. In my past life, when I was at my lowest, Scarlett swore to me how much Julian loved her. She said others only liked her for her looks and money, but Julian was different. Julian appreciated her talent. They were soulmates. But she forgot that in today's hyper-connected world, you can find out anything. It would have been incredibly easy for Julian to get close to Scarlett. With the constant confirmation of Scarlett's scandals, the situation spiraled, and her career was utterly destroyed. Now she was a social pariah, despised by everyone. The producer of a drama series called me, asking if I had a suitable replacement for Scarlett's role. I immediately thought of Victoria. During lunch, I had someone contact her. "You're playing the female lead in Radiant Stars." Victoria could hardly believe it, so overjoyed she was at a loss for words. "Really? I'm afraid I won't do a good job. I've never played a lead role before." I smiled and patted her head affectionately. "Believe in yourself. I know you can do it." I had nothing major to do at the office that afternoon, so I went with her to the set. There was a knock on the dressing room door. I looked up and saw it was Julian. "Excuse me, may I come in?" I looked down, ignoring him. "Come in." Julian glanced at Victoria in the room, looking like he had something to say but was hesitating. Victoria was sharp. Sensing we had something to discuss, she stood up to leave, but I reached out and stopped her. "You don't have to leave." I looked at Julian and asked, "What is it?" Julian's fists were clenched tight as if he was bracing himself. "Sincere. Can you please stop fighting with Scarlett? She actually really cares about what you think. She told me everything you said to her. She's been in a terrible mood these past few days, drinking a lot." I cut him off. "Is that all you came here to say?" Julian's face was frantic. "Can you please give her another chance? Scarlett has always had you in her heart. When she's drunk, she just rambles on about you. Can't you go see her?" Hearing this, I frowned. I seriously suspected that when she was drunk, she was cursing my name. After how she treated me in my last life, she wanted to claim she liked me now. Did she think I was a 3-year-old? My gaze fell on Julian. I was about to speak when I caught a glimpse of a dark shadow in the crack of the dressing room door. An idea instantly formed in my mind. You want me to forgive her? A flicker of hope appeared in Julian's eyes. Sincere, don't worry. There's nothing really going on between me and Scarlett. I just wanted to create some buzz by faking a relationship. As long as you forgive her and treat her like you used to, I promise I'll stay far away from her. A smile played on my lips. Forgive her? Impossible. But I can give you the resources you want. Interested? Julian hesitated, testing the waters cautiously. You'll really give me resources? I nodded. Resources or Scarlett? You can only choose one, her or the resources. Julian answered without a moment's hesitation. I'll take the resources then. He looked at me with greed in his eyes. Mr. Hawthorne, I also have some dirt on Scarlett. Could I trade that for some resources? You know how it is in this industry. You can't get anywhere without connections. I don't want to be an extra anymore. Just a few ad campaigns would be enough. Julian was about to say more when the dressing room door was kicked open. Scarlett stood there looking haggard, her eyes red as she stared at Julian. Didn't you always say you loved me? How could you do this to me? When Julian saw her, a flash of panic crossed his face. But then he remembered her current pathetic state and forcefully pushed her away. Don't touch me. That was all a lie, you idiot. If it weren't for your bit of fame that I could leech off of, I wouldn't have bothered with you. You're moody, arrogant, and full of yourself. Scarlett's eyes were red as she glared at Julian. So when you said you had anxiety, that was a lie too? There wasn't a hint of guilt on Julian's face. That's just how this industry is. You do whatever it takes to succeed. I made up the anxiety to get your sympathy. I thought you'd at least check, but I can't believe you actually fell for it. Julian's contemptuous gaze completely broke Scarlett. I stood by, enjoying the show. Are you two finished? Julian immediately put on a fawning smile. All finished. So, about those resources, I told him to contact my assistant directly. Julian's face flushed with excitement. Thank you, Mr. Hawthorne. With that, he shot Scarlett a disdainful look and turned to leave. You're still here? I looked at Scarlett, who was standing frozen, and urged her impatiently. Scarlett slowly turned around, a flicker of regret in her eyes. Sincere, I never thought he was that kind of person. I can't believe I pushed you away for him. Her words sent a shiver down my spine. Don't drag me into this. There's been nothing between us for a long time. Only then did Scarlett notice Victoria by my side. Her hostile gaze immediately fell on her. Who is she? I looked at Scarlett coldly. That's none of your business. Scarlett grew angry. Don't just grab some random girl to spite me. I know you still have feelings for me, or you wouldn't have made me a star. Now break up with her and come back to me. I finally lost my patience. Are you sick? Who would want to be with you? I said with a look of disgust. I spoiled you rotten before. Promoting you was a moment of blindness on my part. Don't think so highly of yourself. You really think everyone is dying to be with you? My words infuriated Scarlett. She pointed at me and cursed. Are you that desperate for a woman? Just a few days ago you were saying you liked me, and now you're fawning over some other woman. It's disgusting. Victoria immediately stepped in front of me. What he does has nothing to do with you. You were never a couple before, and you aren't now, so you have no right to control him. Seeing Victoria protecting me, Scarlett raised her hand to strike. I was about to step in and stop her, but in the next second, Victoria grabbed a handful of Scarlett's hair and warned her, "Stay away from him, get lost." Seeing Victoria's demeanor change in an instant, I wondered if I was seeing things. Victoria seemed so gentle and weak, I never thought she had this side to her. Scarlett, who had just been betrayed by Julian and was now being put in her place by Victoria, turned pale with rage, spat out a threat, and ran off. You just wait. After Scarlett left, I turned to look at Victoria. She immediately reverted to her sweet, well-behaved self and looked at me uneasily. Brother, I'm not usually like this. I'm really gentle. I was amused. All right, you're gentle. You're the gentlest. Victoria tilted her head and asked casually, Brother, was what that girl said true? Did you used to like her? I froze for a moment. Maybe. Victoria asked cautiously. So, brother, do you still like her now? I answered without a second thought, of course not. It was more than dislike, it was pure hatred. But I couldn't say that out loud, afraid of scaring Victoria. Victoria immediately jumped for joy. That's great, what are you so happy about? I said, exasperated. Victoria just smiled, didn't answer, and turned back to her work. After leaving the set, Scarlett completely vanished from the public eye. Victoria took over the lead role in Radiant Stars. At first, many people online attacked her viciously, but after the series aired, she shot to fame overnight with the role, becoming a breakout star. Julian, free from the buzz of his fake relationship with Scarlett, also established himself in the entertainment industry after starring in 2 TV series. I ran into him once at an industry party. He came over to apologize, saying he had done something to wrong me. I just smiled and didn't respond. I'm not a saint. I can't just easily forgive someone who indirectly harmed me. As they say, people on different paths shouldn't travel together. Since we weren't the same kind of people, it was better to keep our distance and avoid trouble. After that, I devoted myself to my work. I never expected that the next time I heard news about him, he would be dead. The moment I saw the news, I couldn't believe my eyes. That chilling feeling ran down my spine again, as if I had been transported back to my past life. A deep sense of powerlessness and fear filled my heart. Brother, what's wrong? I snapped back to reality, clenching my fists tightly. It's nothing, just thinking about some things. Victoria tilted her head and looked at me. You look so pale. Did you catch a cold? She stood on her tiptoes and reached out to feel my forehead. The faint, sweet scent from the young woman's body wafted into my nose, making me freeze involuntarily. Tori, you... Victoria blinked, her face full of concern. Brother, I'm worried about you. A warmth spread through my heart, and I quickly pushed her away. I'm fine, you can go now. Victoria looked a little disappointed. She turned to leave, but then, when I was completely off guard, she spun around and threw herself into my arms. Her soft lips gently pressed against my cheek before quickly pulling away. My heart began to race uncontrollably. Victoria straightened up, her gaze firm as she looked at me. Sincere Hawthorne, I'm not your real sister. We're not related by blood, so can you please stop avoiding me? I'm in love with you, and I want to pursue you. I thought I must have misheard. I was about to scold her, but Victoria had already run off without looking back. My assistant standing by the door couldn't help but chuckle. Mr. Hawthorne, Miss Victoria is actually a great catch. I straightened my collar and shot him a glare. Are you that bored? Is all your work done? Alex immediately shut his mouth. The news of Julian's death instantly shot to the top of the trending lists. Countless people left messages under his works, mourning the sudden passing of such a handsome male artist. His fans were devastated, but the cause of his death remained unknown. Just like in my last life, I never figured out how Julian died. His depression was a lie, so was there some other hidden secret? That afternoon, after work, I ran into someone unexpected. Scarlett was waiting for me downstairs. She blocked my path. Can we talk? I didn't want to deal with her, but she said, Don't worry, Mr. Hawthorne. I just want to have a simple chat. I won't do anything to you. Get in the car. It's too crowded here to talk. With no other choice, I got in the car with her. In the restaurant, I looked at her and got straight to the point. Were you involved in what happened to Julian? Scarlett froze for a moment, then laughed. I knew I couldn't hide it from you. He betrayed me. That was what he deserved. I just gave him a little push. I looked at Scarlett. There was no remorse in her eyes, just that same condescending look that I found so disgusting. If there's nothing else, I'll be going. I stood up to leave, but Scarlett grabbed my arm. So impatient with me? Sincere, you've really changed. The way you used to look at me was full of love. I scoffed. You said it yourself, that was the past. I'm not about to make the same mistake and raise a tiger that will turn on me. Scarlett was stunned. You were reborn too? I retorted. So what if I was? You made my life a living hell in our last life. You want to do it all over again? Scarlett bit her lip, finally saying after a long pause, "I was wrong in our last life. It was all that man Julian's fault for tricking me, but I know I was wrong now. Sincere, can you give me another chance?" The last bit of my patience ran out. I stood up to leave. Scarlett said anxiously, "You've fallen for that little wench. Haven't you? Her name is Victoria, right?" I froze. Behind me, she sensed my reaction and acted as if she'd caught me. A mocking laugh followed. "You really have fallen for her." My face darkened. "What does that have to do with you?" Scarlett pulled out her phone. "You care about that girl so much, don't you? What do you think will happen if I leak videos of the two of you together? You think anyone will still like her then?" I turned around and sneered. "Are you threatening me?" Scarlett looked smug. "What I can't have, I'd rather destroy than let someone else have. You just like her because it's new and exciting. When you get tired of her, you'll come back to me." I laughed coldly. "Then you really don't know me at all. The thing I hate most is being threatened." A few days before the big music awards ceremony, Victoria finished recording her new album. In a luxurious hotel suite, Victoria, having had a bit to drink, staggered into my arms. Her cheeks were flushed and her eyes were hazy as she looked at me. "Sincere Hawthorne, do you hate me?" I turned my head slightly, avoiding her gaze. "Tori, you're drunk." Victoria hugged me tightly, her small hands restlessly exploring my body as if plucking at my heartstrings. I grabbed her hands to stop her from moving. Victoria stared at me, then suddenly stood on her tiptoes and gently kissed my lips. Her warm breath fanned across my face as she whispered in a drunken haze, "Sincere Hawthorne, did you know? I've been in love with you for so many years. In high school, when you tutored me, I was too nervous to even look at you. Terrified you'd find out how I felt. I even wrote you a love letter, but you threw it away without even looking at it. Why can everyone else get close to your heart, but I can't? You even said you would marry me once. You broke your promise." I was suddenly flustered. She was just drunk and rambling. "Let me take you back to your room to rest." Victoria pushed my hands away and pouted. "I'm not going back. I want to be with you." I struggled to push her away and said seriously, "We really can't right now. After the music awards we can talk properly, okay? Tori?" The girl in my arms was already starting to unbutton her clothes in a daze. Something felt wrong. I reached out and touched her forehead. It was burning hot. "Why is your fever so high?" Just then the doorbell rang. "Hello, room service." I didn't think much of it, assuming it was hotel staff. But when I opened the door, it was a strange man holding a camera. "Excuse me, is Victoria Sterling here? What is your relationship with her?" "Please answer my question." I slammed the door shut, my fists clenched. It was only then that I realized we had fallen into a trap. Someone was deliberately trying to frame Victoria and ruin her reputation. I looked at her, lying uncomfortably on the bed, and forced myself to calm down. I immediately called my men. "Lock down this hotel. Not a single video clip gets out, and get a doctor in here in disguise. She's been drugged." Alex and his team quickly sealed off the hotel. It's swarming with reporters outside. "The person behind this is playing dirty," Alex reported breathlessly. My face was grim. "You take a few people and have them pose as Victoria to create a diversion. I'll take her out through another exit." Alex nodded. "I'm on it." The doctor gave her some medicine. I watched as she gradually regained consciousness on the bed. I stroked her head, the fever starting to go down. "You can all leave now," I said, dismissing everyone else from the room. A sly glint appeared in Victoria's eyes. She grabbed my hand and whined, "Brother, I feel sick. I can't walk." I turned to look at her. "Why do you seem so happy about this?" Victoria gave me a sweet smile. "Of course not. I just wanted to make our relationship official. That way everyone will know about us. Isn't that a good thing?" I didn't quite understand what she was saying. "Tori, Mom and Dad will be worried about you at home." I tried to pull her away, but Victoria suddenly clung to me tightly. "But this is such a good opportunity, I don't want to miss it. That woman wanted to destroy me for you, so what if I let her succeed? This way you'll belong only to me." I was shocked. "You knew about this all along?" Victoria laughed. I've known since you met with her. I was so jealous that she once had your heart, but it doesn't matter anymore because from now on you'll only be mine. I was about to argue when I felt a sudden rush of heat through my body. I realized I had been drugged too. Victoria lifted my chin, her beautiful eyes filled with a fanaticism I had never seen before. As long as you'll be mine from now on, brother, it's all worth it. You wanted me just now too, didn't you? Her fingers slowly lifted the hem of my shirt. I instinctively grabbed her hand. Tori, think carefully about the consequences of this. Victoria's eyes were tinged with red. I don't care. I sighed helplessly, flipping her over and pressing her beneath me. You asked for this. The hotel videos were eventually leaked. I watched as a certain someone sat by the bed in the middle of the night, meticulously editing the video, even thoughtfully blurring my face. My head was splitting. I couldn't help but press my temples. How did things get to this point? This was completely unexpected. After posting the video, the young woman nodded in satisfaction. Now that's perfect. What are you going to do about Scarlett? I asked, exasperated. Victoria played with her phone and gave me a mysterious smile. I'm not telling you yet. You'll find out when the time comes. A few days later, Alex brought me the news. Mr. Hawthorne, Miss Vance has been reported to the police and is now in jail. It seems someone had evidence of her framing others and reported her. The evidence is solid, so no one can save her now. Hearing this, I looked at the young woman sitting next to me, munching on fruit. You did all this? I asked, surprised. Victoria smiled sweetly. You're so clever, brother. You guessed it right away. But I didn't do anything to her. I just happened to find some evidence. She brought it on herself, so I just helped her along. I rubbed my forehead, feeling helpless. The sweet, well-behaved girl I once knew seemed to have really gone off track. The whole affair caused a huge uproar. It wasn't long before I got a call from my mother. Sincere Hawthorne, you get home right now. The next day I brought Victoria home. The moment I walked in, I was met with 2 whacks from a feather duster. My mother's eyes were red as she said angrily, I knew you were up to no good. How could you defile a good girl like Vicky? I'm going to teach you a lesson today, you rebellious son. Victoria tried to step in front of me, but I gave her a look signaling her not to interfere. Mom, this is my fault. I'm willing to take full responsibility for any punishment. I obediently lowered my head and took 2 more hits from the feather duster before my mother's anger subsided a little. Be honest with me. Do you genuinely love Tori, or are you just playing around? I nodded seriously. Mom, I truly love her. Not as a brother loves a sister, but the kind of love that makes me want to spend the rest of my life with her. My mother's anger cooled slightly. She turned to Victoria. Vicky, tell me the truth. Do you love him too? Victoria nodded vigorously and took my mother's hand. Mom, please don't blame brother. If you're upset, you can scold me instead. My mother's tone softened, and she gently tapped Victoria's head. Silly girl, I watched you grow up. I couldn't bear to see you get hurt. Then she shot me another glare. You remember what you said? If you dared to bully Vicky, I'll be the first to kick you out of the Hawthorne family. I'll disown you. I couldn't help but wonder who the real biological child was. Victoria's eyes welled up. Thank you, Mom. After that, Victoria posted on social media, admitting to everything regarding the leaked photos. She also stated that we were in a normal, loving relationship and would continue to walk this path together. Her words were not well received by some fans. Then, our history was dug up. Online comments were polarized. Someone had secretly taken photos of us. There were pictures of us going to and from work, clinging to each other on an electric scooter on the street, me seeing her off at the recording studio, and even photos of us from our student days participating in club activities. These photos attracted a lot of casual fans. I'm obsessed. This not really siblings trope is my jam. Childhood sweethearts who grew up together. Mr. Hawthorne is so handsome, and their visuals are a perfect match. Just a casual fan here. But are they for real? Or is this just a publicity stunt? They're real, girl. They're already engaged. They're super in love now. I see them being all cute at work. It's so sweet I could die. Ah, Mr. Hawthorne's visuals are killing me. Can they please star in a drama together? I want to see it so bad. This is my OTP. I'm shipping them forever. A few years later at the music awards ceremony. Victoria finally held the award she had always dreamed of. Under the spotlight, she looked deeply into the crowd, at the one man who belonged only to her, sincere Hawthorne. "Thank you," she said. "And I love you very much."